Welcome back to the Gardens and Gargoyle YouTube channel. Today we are doing something different, and I know that all of you are shocked that we're changing things up already, seeing as we have no following and really no clue what we're doing, but hey, we're a learn on the go type. So what we're going to be doing for the foreseeable future is experiencing the wonderful world of train travel.
Yeah.
We will be going on an Amtrak train, 4 of them specifically, and we're looking to experience the highs and lows, the bumps, the rough patches of Amtrak travel.
I was only looking for the good parts.
We are going to try and do a full experience of the train.
Yeah.
We want to be overnight, we want to be sleeping, we want to do a full trip.
Food.
We want food.
Drink.
There's a bar on board.
Entertainment. Are we the entertainment?
We're the entertainment.
Well, it's only
We can handle that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
hey. So basically today what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to schedule your Amtrak trip. It is a tedious, challenging, and confusing process to book anything on their website. The app is certainly better, but it is difficult. So hopefully if you follow through to the end of the video, you're able to get a few good tips and tricks as to how to schedule, what to look out for, and what to do, what not to do.
Yeah, I spent a good 40 hours before I gave it to Amanda for 10-15 minutes to finish up.
Basically, ha ha ha. So stay tuned and we will see you at the end of the video. So when we started looking around on the website, it became very apparent that we had no idea what we were looking at. On the Amtrak website, they provide you with a PDF as to all of the routes that they take. You can see it here in red. All of the throughway connecting services are in green.
The PDF will allow you to get a little familiar with the routes before you start navigating.
Basically what we did is we said, what are the major cities that we wanted to go to? Originally, we were thinking Washington, D.C., Nashville, Tennessee, New Orleans, Louisiana, Chicago, Illinois, San Antonio, Texas, or Phoenix, Arizona. Quickly, we discovered that not all of those were available, seeing as Phoenix, Nashville, Tennessee were not major train stations, and that it would cause us to take either a separate form of transportation or a train that would only be on for about an hour or two, which would result in an extra cost without much benefit. Another thing that we took into consideration when planning our Amtrak trip was what kind of ticket did we want to do. They have numerous different options from coach to business and first class, which are all seating options. They include no middle seat and plenty of leg room. There is also an at-seat lighting, tray table, and outlet, but it doesn't give a ton of information onto actual size, but you would have to assume it would be the size of, say, any kind of bus seat, but a little bit more comfortable. The other option is that you could do a room. I've seen roomette, family room, bedroom, and accessible bedroom. Roomette is definitely the most common for sleeper trains. It is a private room that has turn-down service, towels and linens, also has station lounge access, complimentary meals on board, and is considered to be fairly roomy by those who write the description. The room's length is typically 6 foot 6 inches to 6 foot 8 inches, the width being 3 feet by 6 inches.
They're not big. They're bigger than a seat, but they're not big.
The bedroom has 2 times the space of a roomette, a sofa and armchair by day, which can be converted into a bed. There's 2 beds and it seats up to 2 adults with an in-room sink, restroom, and shower. The room length is 7 feet 1 inch to 7 feet 6 inches. Room width being 6 feet 6 inches to 6 feet 8 inches. So after taking some time to look at the website, get a general idea of how to read and understand the Amtrak site, we were able to pick what route we wanted to do. We wanted to make sure that the trip was shorter than 36 hours on the train, just because we are rookies and we don't want to set ourselves up for failure. Also, if there was a train ride that was going to be longer than about 6 to 8 hours, we would prefer a sleeper rather than a coach seat.
Yeah, something that was private, something that was a little more comfortable. At the time of the year, we might get some nice scenic routes. The fact that we'll be in the Northeast for a while and it'll be foliage season, so we might get lucky.
First, what we were looking at was Washington, D.C., which we quickly decided against, seeing as it was the most expensive of all the trains and the least enjoyable.
Yeah, a terrible route, a lot of stops, bumpy, curvy, windy, expensive, and no comfortable rooms.
We were also very interested in going to New Orleans, but it was going to be very expensive to travel there, as well as the arrival times only being late in the evening, which would force us to get a hotel.
Yeah, I think the East Coast, generally speaking, was 50% more expensive than probably any other area that we looked at. And the other thing was Hurricane Ida, I think, helped to make the final decision.
So with that, we ruled out New Orleans.
Sadly.
We also had interest in Phoenix or Williams, Arizona. We've been to Arizona before and very much liked the area.
Love it.
But it was going to be a very long trip without any real destination.
Yeah, I think we weren't looking to rent a car and just travel all of Arizona on our own. We were kind of looking for a destination and stay within a 20-mile radius or something like that.
We had the idea that after being on a train for a long period of time, the least amount of travel to get to the hotel was in our best interest.
Yeah.
With that, it narrowed it down to San Antonio. Another thing that we had decided is that we definitely wanted to go to Chicago so that we could visit Union Station. Once we picked out our route, we had to pick out the tickets. So keeping everything in mind that we had seen online as to pricing and travel time, if anything was going to be longer than 8 hours on the train, we wanted to do a sleeper. The bigger the better was our thought process, but unfortunately, every possible option other than one was the roomette.
Yeah, think of it as a cruise ship, but the size of a bathtub.
We decided that we were going to be departing on September 26th, and we will be going from the Back Bay Station to Union Station.
Beantown to Chi-Town.
So in all the times that we had checked, going from Boston to Chicago, the train was going to be departing at 12:57 p.m., arriving at 9:50 a.m. the following morning for an expected travel time of 21 hours and 53 minutes. So when scheduling a trip, if you're going with more than one person, you are going to add the second traveler prior to going through your information for accurate pricing. As you can see, the original cost of the room is $748. If you add a second traveler to your train ticket, it does increase to a $900 rate. In my opinion, that is highway robbery, but I'm going to purchase it anyways. Now we are going to our next one, which is Chicago to San Antonio. So we will be arriving in Chicago at 9:50 a.m. and seeing as the only option available for Chicago to San Antonio is 1:45 p.m., that works out well in our favor, seeing as there are 3 hours in between each train, so that if one runs late, we are accounted for and we won't run into a problem.
Yeah, it would have to be very late.
So here we will be getting on the 21 Texas Eagle at a departure time of 1:45, arrival of 9:55 p.m. on Tuesday, September 28th, and we are looking at 32 hours and 10 minutes on the train. All right, so for 22 Texas Eagle, for us to get on our way home, it's going to be Saturday, October 2nd, and unfortunately, the only option is a 7 a.m. departure, meaning we will have to check out of our hotel room at 6 a.m. We are expecting a 7 a.m. departure and a 1:52 p.m. arrival time on Sunday, October 3rd, and for about 30 hours and 52 minutes in total. And this is our only time that we are going to be able to do either a family bedroom or a bedroom instead of the roomette. We figured that since it is going to be one of the last legs of our trip, we are going to indulge ourselves and opt for something more comfortable, and we are going to do the bedroom.
Nothing says self-indulgence like an 80 square foot room.
So we will be going from Chicago to Boston. We are looking at arriving on the 3rd of October at 1:52 p.m., which is fantastic because the departure time for the Chicago to Boston train ride is going to be at 9:30 p.m., which will leave us with plenty of time to really get to explore Union Station as well as parts of Chicago outside of the station, like the Great Lakes. So we will be taking the 448 Lakeshore Limited back to Boston, and this is once again going to be a roomette since that is the only option. And this is a 9:30 p.m. departure time, arriving at 7:52 p.m. the following day, October 4th. And we're looking at 21 hours and 22 minutes of total travel time for this trip. So it looks like Boston, Chicago, Chicago to San Antonio, and the same route back totals $3,990 for Amtrak travel cost. Our total travel time on the Amtrak train is going to be roughly 107 hours, which would be converted to 4.5 days. Welcome to the beginning of the end of the video. I hope that you found any of that interesting, helpful, or at least amusing.
Did we have bedhead at all during that?
Dad, it was all audio.
It was?
So we're going to be reviewing everything throughout our trip. We are going to be doing prior to our departure, how we pack, what we're expecting, booking, shopping. We're going to get all of that documented for you, as well as our experience on board the train. We will be going on 4 trains as you saw, so we will do a review of each of them. That way you can see the food on board, the alcohol on board. I'm excited for that. Some of it's free.
For the $4,000 we spent, it's free.
We're also going to be taking a look at some of the train stations, the views on board, the size of the room we are very interested in, the dimensions and everything. I think Dad plans on bringing a tape measure. I want to do an in-depth review of the shower. It's going to be fun on board, hopefully. After that, I think we're going to do a few vlogs for our days at the hotel so you can kind of get an idea of that experience and hang out with us. And we'll do some reviews once we get back as well as to what we thought of the whole experience.
Do you think we can interview the cabin steward?
Why do you want to?
I mean, that person, he or she could be really nice and funny.
We are also going to be doing a fair amount of documentation on our Instagram and TikTok. I will have those usernames, our tags or whatever, shown below that way. If you'd like to follow that way as well, you are more than welcome to.
Amtrak is one of the most complicated things to book, to learn, and to understand. And so what we're going to try to do is give you like a basic user's guide, but the kind that you can actually say, after watching this video or these series of videos, are you interested in actually traveling on Amtrak? Yes. And do you have an idea of the cost? Because truly, I think if people really got it, they would be able to make an educated decision. Where it's difficult, I'll be honest with you. The website can give you a headache.
So if you want to get an in-depth review, you're going to see a few things here that you may not have seen elsewhere. And it might help with making a decision or at least planning and packing.
I think some people that travel, they're happy just because they're traveling.
Yeah.
So if they give you some little tidbits, oh, the food was great, they feel as though they're informing you, and they are. However, if you're the anxiety-riddled traveler, like we are, like making sure that you prepare properly, you dot your I's, you cross your T's, you're cost-effective, you get nice accommodations, you plan the time frame, the whole works. We don't want to be stressed when we're on the trip. We want it to be just laid back and carefree.
Yes.
So we like it to be, I don't want to say stressful in advance, but we want to get rid of that stress first. And so what we're hoping to do, I think, is get you in a position where you can say, okay, you know what? I think I can figure this out now.
I think that being prepared means being relaxed. So we want to help you.
Yeah, we're here to help.
So if you would like to... now that we've rewound the tape. So if you'd like to follow us throughout our trip, definitely subscribe to our channel and turn on your notifications if you want to be notified whenever we're posting a video. Also, if you liked this video, please leave a like down below. And if you have any questions that you want to know about Amtrak that you'd like us to look out for on our trip, definitely leave a comment and we'll get back to you.
Yeah, and if you hate the video, like it twice and send it to your friends.
Exactly.
Right.
All right, well, that was all for today. Our next video is going to be scheduling the hotel that we'll be staying at in between our train travels, so keep an eye out for that, and we will see you next time.
Yep. Thanks for putting up with us again.
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta.